Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to talk about zygomatic bone. So let's start our topic with introduction. Zygomatic bone, commonly called the cheekbone or malar bone, is a paired facial bone that is located in the upper and lateral part of the face. It forms the prominence of cheek. It contributes to the orbit and plays an important role in giving shape to the face. It is strong, compact, and has multiple articulations, making it a key bone of the facial skeleton. Location and structure of zygomatic bone. It is situated in the upper lateral part of face, below and lateral to the orbit, as you can see in the diagram. It forms part of zygomatic arch along with the temporal bone. Each zygomatic bone is roughly quadrangular in shape and has three surfaces, four processes, and four borders. Parts of zygomatic bone include, first we'll talk about its surfaces. Its surfaces include lateral or malar surface, temporal surface, and orbital surface. Lateral surface is convex and forms the prominence of cheek. It is pierced by zygomaticofacial foramen for nerve and vessel. Second surface of zygomatic bone is temporal surface that faces posteriorly and form part of temporal fossa. That is pierced by zygomaticotemporal foramen. Third surface is orbital surface that form part of lateral wall and floor of orbit. This surface is pierced by zygomatico-orbital foramen. Next, we will talk about processes of zygomatic bone. Zygomatic bone has frontal process, temporal process, maxillary process, and orbital process. All of these processes you can see in the diagram. Frontal process of zygomatic bone articulates with frontal bone, thus contributing to the lateral wall of the orbit. Temporal process of zygomatic bone extend backward to join the zygomatic process of temporal bone, forming the zygomatic arch. Maxillary process of zygomatic bone articulates with the maxilla, thus contributing to infraorbital limb and lateral wall of the face. Then there is orbital process of zygomatic bone that helps form the lateral wall and floor of the orbit. Important features of zygomatic bone include zygomatic arch. Zygomatic arch is formed by union of temporal process of zygomatic bone and zygomatic process of temporal bone. Second feature is zygomatic foramina. They are foramina that allow passage of branches of zygomatic nerves. They include zygomaticofacial foramina, zygomaticotemporal foramina, and zygomatico-orbital foramina. Third feature is cheek prominence, as zygomatic bone contribute to external contour and aesthetic shape of the face. Now let's talk about articulations of zygomatic bone. Each zygomatic bone articulates with four bones. They articulate superiorly with frontal bone. They articulate medially with the maxilla. They articulate posteriorly with the temporal bone. And they articulate posteriorly through its orbital surface with the sphenoid bone. Functions of zygomatic bone. First is facial aesthetic, as these bones form the prominence of cheek, thus contributing to facial appearance. Second function is structural support, as this bone contributes to the orbit, maxilla, and temporal bone connection. Third function of this bone is protection, as this bone forms part of orbital rim, thus protecting the eye. Fourth function is muscle attachment, as this bone provides origin point for facial muscles involved in mastication and expression. Fifth function of the zygomatic bone is communication of nerves and vessels, as there are foramina in there that transmit branches of zygomatic nerve. Conclusion of this lecture video. Zygomatic bone is strong, quadrangular facial bone that plays crucial role in facial contour, or in orbital protection and mastication mechanics. As the cheekbone is important not only structurally but also aesthetically, thus forming the lateral prominence of the face. Its articulation with the maxilla, frontal bone, temporal bone, and sphenoid bone make it a central element of mid-face and lateral skull. And this was all about zygomatic bone. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.